Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mast, and today we're doing a very rare patch notes video. Not something I expected to do literally ever in Season 11, to be honest. It does seem like HIREZ is actually, for some reason, cooking right now. I don't know what they're on about. They are doing some things. I don't know if we're still doing the actual seasons in a year type thing where there's going to be like 4 sections, and this one they decided to get crazy, and I'm just not aware. I don't know. Stuff's happening. I skimmed patch notes thinking it'd be like they'd tease like a new item, and I think they teased a new kind of herc, just quality of life buff, and I was assuming that it'd be a decent patch. No, it's actually kind of a crazy patch. They're doing some stuff. So we're gonna read over it. I think this will be a pretty quick patch notes video, all things considered. Skip past the stuff I don't care about, and we'll get into the conquest, we'll get into item balance, god balance, stuff like that. So already starting off with this is something where you guys might remember, I think just like a couple videos or so ago, I was farming somebody in lane, dove tower, died to tower, or well, died to them under the tower, and was wondering how much farm they got. And then I did actually go look back at afterwards, and I compared the gold numbers right before I died and right after I died, and it was almost 1,000 gold. That's insane. That's probably stupid that you can be super fed and then you are basically a gold fury. And that's not even it's really not an exaggeration. You are actually basically a gold fury, but instead of giving it to the entire team, you give it to one person. And in a way that's even more OP, because that can be like, oh, I dominated solo lane or any lane. I absolutely dominated this person, got super fed. I'm carrying the game. I died one time, might not even be my fault. Maybe I got 1v5'd, I don't know. And then now all of a sudden they have caught up an absolutely stupid amount for me dying one time to my 10 deaths. So this is a really good change. I don't know how the math works on this. I don't know what these scaling numbers are based off of. So I don't know how big of a change it actually is. 0.3 to 0.2 seems like a lot. I don't know if it's actually a lot. So that's a better change where people still get more for you being fed if they kill you, but a little less extreme. This is the big thing that caught my attention. New objective, the Bull Demon King. If you guys have played Duel, if you guys have played Joust, you know about the Bull Demon. The Bull Demon's gone through different phases of kind of entirely what it is and stuff. But this is going all the way back to Season 3 type stuff in the solo lane, where we had these little fire minis that spawned in the fire giant pit in the early game. So I haven't actually read how this is going to work yet. I just saw it and I knew it was going to be something big and maybe something really scary. We'll have to see. So I actually want to go over this in line with adding more early game agency. We're adding a brand new early game oriented neutral objective on the solo side of the map. Objective is designed to be solo by junglers over a long period, but will be much more efficiently done if split between 2 or 3 players. This seems like the type of thing that people are going to hate, where the more competitive players might love it, and then when you're in a game that is realistically not very competitive, which is most of them, especially when there's no SPL, then it's going to potentially suck because it's like, oh, my bot team didn't come to this, so their team gets the early game objective and they snowball. That's maybe a concern right now. Season 11 of all times is a weird season to introduce this, because this is something that would make people toxic in a normal big SPL season. Just saying. Much of the early game is slowed down by the predictability of ganks, which is true, so our goal is to create a point of contention away from the lanes that will allow the victorious team to have a much easier time controlling the jungle paths and vision. Even if the enemy players don't care to ward, which they should. Yeah, good one, HIREZ. Make sure they get that in there so that Reddit's happy. This objective grants global gold and XP, so it's an excellent way to contribute to your team coffers. Spawns from 2 minutes until 15 minutes in the fire giant pit. Obviously, like it says here, fire giant now spawns at 15. I don't care about the achievement, HIREZ, but thanks for letting me know. Killing the Bull Demon awards global gold, global XP, and a team-wide buff. Bull Demon sight for 60 seconds. Okay. I thought I was about to give Nuwa ult for 60 seconds. That would be insane. It does not. Reveals all enemy wards on the map for the duration of the buff, making them killable. That's kind of interesting. It's a little bit weird to start the game, because right now we have an incredibly rare meta in the duo lane, and I'm actually serious when I say incredibly rare, where early game wards are valuable. Right now there is such a gank duo lane meta for the jungler, pretty much from the 1 to 2-ish minute mark, especially when is it exactly 50 seconds to 130 is just, I can do so little with myself as jungle. I should be going duo lane if I can possibly do anything actually good. Now, there are a lot of times where you can't. There's a lot of times where it's actually not worth it and you should just go farm that little bit that you can. But that's very much the meta with the map right now. So it's interesting that Bull Demon is spawning from 2 minutes, because that's after that time period, and that's after those dual lane wards that you place to counteract those jungle ganks are really having their impact. They might still be up, but it's kind of after the spot where they tend to matter as much. So that's kind of interesting to me because like if you siege this right away, other than the farm, it doesn't look that valuable. If you get it a little later, then it could be insanely valuable. Then it could be, you know, if you're getting this at like 8 minutes, which is super prime gank territory, you're actually getting your farm online, and then people are actually starting to get more wards online, then your team can just kill them for you, and then now the other team is super susceptible for those 60 seconds or whatever, right? So, interesting idea. 2350 health to start is not that crazy. God, what does red buff and speed buff start at? I really don't actually know. I want to say they're starting at like 700 and then pretty quickly scaling to like 1,000-ish, right? Something like that. And this is just going to be one buff. Oh my God, 100 power? Okay, this thing swings. That makes more sense. Okay, so I don't think it's all that tanky. It's going to be relatively tanky. I actually think for some characters, this might be easier to do than mid camps on their own, which isn't saying a lot because mid camps are really painful to do on your own, depending on who you are. If you're like Arachne or somebody that's super single target. But oh my God, is he going to be swinging? 100 power is crazy. Pretty normal prot, and then 110 gold or XP and 55 gold. Keep in mind that's team wide. So that's going to be 500 XP, 250 gold for your team in total. And that's pretty nutty. Early game, that is a lot. That is 2 totems worth of gold. And then that has actual experience, which totem does not give. So considering how relatively easy this could be to do, then that's quite a bit. So interesting objective, Hi-Rez. I like that they're messing with this in Season 11. I'm assuming the idea with this is for one thing to add some spice in a season that has, maybe I shouldn't say in a season that has none, but like, let's be real. Everybody ever right now is thinking like this is the most dead season of Smite. In terms of actually how the game feels, I don't think it at all feels like the worst season of Smite. I think Season 10 felt worse. But in terms of just Smite 2 is on the way, we're basically all in our heads thinking Season 12 is Smite 2 Season 1. So Season 11 feels kind of like the empty season where we're just still here to a lot of people. It's interesting to actually come up with objectives that I feel like would be a crazy change in Season 9, Season 10. Why didn't we get this in Season 10? So we'll see what happens. Gold Fury, just reducing debuffs, not a big deal. Mid Harpies get a little bit of a nerf. Thank God. Speaking of mid Harpies, man, 20 to 16 power, those things absolutely slap. They're so tanky. Really, they should just make them squishier, at least to start, but that's fine, I guess. A little bit more farm from doing the, what are the Nagas? Like I know, but I'm trying to picture purple? Like the duo purple? Does speed buff count? I think, no, speed buff's a centaur. That might be it. Shield buff got a little bit of a farm reduction. I don't really know if it needed it, but okay, never mind. What am I saying? Oh my God, it needed it. Dual lane gets so much farm, it's broken. Cooldown buff, a little bit of a nerf. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, this, okay. Ooh, so many years of solo lane. I put cooldown and blue buff together. They haven't been together forever. Blue buff still sucks. I thought they nerfed blue buff again. I was actually going to lose it. I would have had to stop recording the video because I would have been so mad because I'm still getting mad thinking about how bad they did blue buff in Season 10. Oh my God. Invade penalty got reduced. This is like so little. It's literally, it was more effective than I remembered. I don't know if they made it stronger at some point. The invade penalty is the lack of farm you get. This is like nothing. Why did they do this? Do more or do nothing, man. This is so pointless. 5%? Oh my God. It went from garbage to invade to still garbage to invade. There's just like what? There's like one piece of food in the trash that's not old, but you still have to eat the rest of the old trash when you dumpster dive. Is that what this is? I think it basically is. What is this? Oh, this is an assault thing. Wait. Oh my God, I went crazy on assault. Oh my God. I have to edit this out, man. I BM'd Hi-Rez so hard over assault changes. I didn't catch it was about assault. Oh my, I was so mad about the tower change, and it's in the mode I don't play that has so many fewer towers and so many fewer people per tower. That actually makes sense. Moving on. Don't care about duel. Nice try. You're not getting me back. Mode's bad. Mode's bad. I'm past it. Bobble change. This is a hell of a change. I actually, in a way, I don't like this because it's less fun for me, but from a like concept point of view, I actually think this is a really good change. I think they a little bit overdid it. This is an insane, I have never in my life seen a price increase like this other than just a straight up rework of an item. Or maybe just an insane buff to an item that warrants a price increase like that. But Bobble is very spicy. It's capable of doing a lot, and it's something that inherently realistically should be more of a late game item. And right now, the people buying it are tending to buy it in like a third item slot where they are just on a god that loves cooldown. They are rushing it as hard as possible. And that makes Bobble way more punishing if it's in a third item slot. It's more punishing in general, but it matters a lot when you're trying to rush this power spike, right? So I actually think this is a really good change. I do think it's a little bit overdone. And honestly, in my head before, I had been thinking the best way to do it, I even brought it up in a video, was to make it so that they could just nerf the stats a little bit, the non-cooldown stats like the power. This actually might just be a smarter way to do it. But I think it should be like 100 gold lower. That's fairly small. It doesn't matter that much. I think that's a good change. Conduit nerf. This is only minion damage. This is kind of an interesting change. I don't know how I feel about it entirely. I think it's probably a good change. I think they could maybe go halfway. Right now, Conduit has been going through the ringer with buffs and nerfs, where the item was really bad for a long time. Gem of Focus late game was good. The item Conduit itself was bad for like maybe since it came out. I don't know. I think it was good on RDO. It's generally felt really bad to build compared to Sands of Time. And then recently they made it so it stacks faster, and then still did similar damage. And then they kind of changed it back and forth and stuff. And basically, like recently, it's been really strong. They're nerfing the minion damage, keeping the PvP damage, keeping the stacking time that is now a lot faster than it used to be. Probably okay, but they should probably make this 1.5 instead of 2 and then see if they still need to nerf it. It's kind of crazy that we keep getting these massive buffs and nerfs to Conduit and just like, oh my god, guys, ease into it. This game already has so many micro numbers. Put in a decimal and then put in a number after that decimal instead of just making it 1. Do that. You do it all the time with other stuff. Eruption. Pele getting a nerf. Don't care. Nobody plays Pele right now. Too boring. Not fun enough. Not worth. Actually, I like Pele, but she feels so bad to play to me right now. This is a spicy item. Yeah, this is a brand new bow designed for players who are willing to start fighting early and often, or for those who are confident in their aim. The more accurate a player is, the faster the storm will build, growing in strength, in this case attack speed, until it is an unbridled force of nature. 1900 gold, builds off of Hunter's bow. I don't know if that means, I'm assuming this is a tier 3? Hunter's bow. I don't know what item that is. I don't know if that's a tier 1 or tier 2 item. I'm assuming it's in the Abo tree somewhere. 15 power, 20% attack speed. When you hit an enemy god with a basic attack, gain a permanent stacking attack speed buff. Each stack... Oh, okay, this works way different than I thought it would. I thought this was going to be kind of like a longer lasting, like Ikeval type buff. Each stack grants 1.15% attack speed. What? Hang on. I whip out the calculator. I don't know if you guys get... Do you guys get to see this? You do not. That's fine. 0.15 times 999. HIREZ, what the fuck? What? Now I'm trying to picture how many autos can you realistically land in a game. We are building this item. We are absolutely building this item. This is one of the memeiest things I have ever seen. If it's meta, people are going to absolutely lose it. That's really funny. It's seasonal. I don't give a shit, man. As long as they are making the game fun, I don't care in Season 11. That is my only thing. You guys are going to get some little tease of me absolutely ranting about what I thought was a tower change where they made towers even stronger, which is anti-fun, and that's why I hate it so much. They didn't actually do it, so it's okay. This is something. It's spicy. And if it's dumb as hell, hopefully they will nerf it very fast. By the way, I think I said the number 150% attack speed. Basically, if you build this item and you stack it, you will actually go over the attack speed cap because of this 20% right here. If we take out the 20% and then we fully stack the passive, that gets you to attack speed cap on its own, not including levels. You could build it at level 1 and do that. Not including attack speed from levels. That's crazy. Wish we could build it on Ymir, just for memes. Although you are never getting 999 stacks on Ymir, let's be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I think realistically, it would be pretty hard to be pushing beyond even 500 stacks. I think would be very difficult. Maybe I'm picturing it wrong. I think a high number of stacks per game is going to tend to be 300 to 400. And 300 to 400 does get stupid. Don't get me wrong, it does. But you're stacking to that point. We are absolutely building this as soon as we can. That sounds really fun. And that 300 to 400 would be getting you, when we include the 20% attack speed, it would be getting you legitimately like 70% attack speed off of this item. But it has potato stats, so like there's no real power going with it. It's not too broken. Yeah, it's not too broken, honestly. I think it'll be okay. Golden Blade has been removed from the game. What? Excuse me? I mean, true, they added Golden Shard, and basically anybody still building Golden Blade is just a little bit lost. That sounds a little bit messed up. Yeah, I don't know if I built Golden Blade in Season 11. I guess I did at the beginning when I was still starting Golden Shard, and then I realized how OP it was. But yeah, similar stats to Golden Blade. When you hit an enemy with a basic attack from the front, okay, you heal for 2 + 1 health per level, doubled against gods. When you hit an enemy with a basic attack from the back, you deal an additional 15 + 3 damage per level. What? What? This is spicy. Okay. This is going to be, wow. All right. So Loki players, calm down. I know there are a lot of Loki mains out there that are seeing this and they are getting way too excited about a god that does not auto attack outside of auto cancels, or at least shouldn't. You need to stop. This is not a Loki item. This is not a, oh my god, backstab got crazier item. Stop yourselves. You're getting too excited about it. This is not for you. But this does actually make a lot of sense as an item, and it's a really interesting passive to make. They've never done anything like this, because it's like Medusa ult type stuff moved into a passive. The idea is that a brawling god in the solo lane is going to be smacking you face to face a lot. So they're going to get sustain. When you are chasing a god, like either a solo laner hunting down a squishy in the late game that's trying to run away from them, or an assassin running down somebody on a gank, when they are running away from you, you're getting that bonus damage. This is a stupid amount of bonus damage. I am going to assume, based on the way this is written, by the way, that the heal doubles against gods. The damage does not. So damage against a minion facing away from you, almost negligible. Doesn't really mean anything. So we're assuming damage versus gods, which goes up to 75? Which actually, I was doing the math wrong before. I thought this was insane at 45. 75 damage from one item from hitting you from behind is crazy. Now, the stats on this item are mid, but, you know, if you Baka ult somebody and they run away, this absolutely chunks. That's pretty nutty. And then if you Osiris on somebody and they dare to run away, they're dead. They no longer exist. They are not on this plane. They are gone forever. This is absolutely crazy. Interesting item. I think people are going to hate it. I think in the solo lane, it'll be a fun little throwback to the Death Toll era, where we're getting sustained brawls. I mean, this is going to do, keeping in mind this is doubled 40, 44 at level 20, which you're not going to tend to be. It'll tend to be somewhere in like the 30s. Healing per auto, which is a crazy amount, and we'll get very, very high sustain battles, and then make anti-heal important in the solo lane. But then all the squishies that are running away from melee ranges, you know, squishies tend to hate assassins, squishies tend to hate warriors. There's going to be a whole lot of crying. If that's you, it's okay. I'm not saying that it's bad to cry about it. It might be dumb. There's going to be a whole lot of crying. Just, you know, everybody should be aware this is what's going to happen. 100%. People are going to hate this part. I think this part's fun. I think they're both fun, but this sounds like an absolutely stupid potential amount of damage. And normally the lower level players in Smite do not recognize good times to just simply sit there and trade. They tend to be in a spot where they get scared. They just simply run. And then that running is going to turn into this, and then they're going to get punished, and then they're going to be pissed. So we'll see what happens. Erendite gets sort of, not even sort of, just straight up a buff. Cheaper, longer buff, little baby bit more damage. This damage buff means almost nothing. Most Erendite damage is based off of scaling. Sure, Erendite's fun. Gem of ISO procs more? Hang on. We might be building a little bit of Gem of ISO. Frostbound procs more? What? Hi-Rez, are you trying? Okay. So what I am getting from this patch is for a chef like me, for a, you know, a passionate home cook like myself, this is a patch to have some fun with. That's great. However, for the people that enjoy the consistencies of Smite, for the people that enjoy knowing Gem of ISO is dumb, Frostbound is not that good. Knowing these items basically tends to mean, yeah, I might dislike them a little bit for, you know, certain stages of the game, but they tend to just be bad items, and I don't have to worry about it that much. All those people that had those consistencies are now going to be crying. They're going to be crying day and night from the amount that they are getting slowed to death by all these cheesers like me instantly leaping onto this patch and doing everything they can. They're in trouble. They're in a little bit of trouble. Slows are fun as hell to troll people with. That's going to be dangerous. By the way, Gem of ISO was absolute garbage before this. It's probably still not actually that good, but it will tilt people, and that will be funny. Fighter's Mask getting a buff. That's probably good because it's absolute garbage. It has been so bad for so long. Apparently, are they not buffing Rangdas, or is that farther down? No, they're just not buffing Rangdas. Why? We're buffing only Fighter's Mask. What? I mean, it is a big buff. No, but they're decreasing damage dealt. What is the point in this? Okay, I'm just ignoring this one. This one means nothing. I actually don't know why they did it. They buffed Fighter's Mask, but not Rangdas. That's so weird. Rangdas sucks. Rangdas is garbage. They need to buff Rangdas if they're going to buff Fighter's Mask. Divine Barrier change. Anybody else remember? Oh my god, they're adding a new relic. And then nobody cared. And then like we saw 10 seconds of it and then it was gone. I remember not that long ago, somebody built this in a game of mine, I think it was a ranked game, and I legitimately had forgotten that it existed. I had completely forgotten that it got added this patch and it seemed cool. So yeah. Anyways, increase deploy range by 50%, reduce the cooldown a little bit, and then that's basically it. They just kind of did that across the ranks. That's basically it. Yeah, I don't know. They're buffing it a little bit, making it a little bit more relevant. Increase vision radius on Vision Shard. That's probably a good change. They're making Vision Shard a little bit more relevant. We're finally at a point, even before this buff, where it's not 100% trolled to build Vision Shard. It's actually like you could maybe not be a noob and still have a legitimate reason to go it now that it's got such a low cooldown. That makes it that much better. So that's probably good. Wing Shard gets a little baby buff. Don't build Wing Shard. Doesn't matter. Golden Shard's OP. Basically anybody that builds Wing Shard should build Golden Shard. Sad truth. Wing Shard's fun. It is what it is. Increased base load. Don't care about Izanami buffs. I am sorry. If you guys like Izanami, you can read this. She is so boring, man. She's one of the most boring gods in the game. Decreased stack time for Yu Huang. I don't even remember what that is. I guess his passive. I guess it's passive. That's probably good. His passive takes forever to stack. Increased a little bit of burn damage on his one. These are all kind of minor balance changes. I think all these might be pretty minor. A little bit more attack speed for Maui. More reliable stun for Maui. That's pretty nice. Cheaper stun as well, since Maui's fallen off super hard. Maui's a fun god, man. I'm glad they're buffing Maui a little bit. He really needs some love at the moment. I don't even remember what Camelot's quest does. I guess I kind of remember. This is Lancelot's passive. So they're buffing it up quite a bit, but I don't remember how hard it is to stack this. But basically, I'm trying to remember. I think the way this works is he gets passive bonuses that are separate between his off-horse version and his on-horse version. And basically, they're making them stack significantly faster, but then still overall get to the same number in the end. They're increasing... Okay, this one doesn't matter that much. This is 2, I think. Is it? Is this like the shield bash part before he swings his spear? Like the first tick of his 2? I think it is. They're buffing that a little bit. Decrease cooldown on quick turn. Everybody's favorite ability. I mean, probably a good change. I think this is so funny, man. Quick turn is such a what do we do with this slot type of ability. It's so funny, man. Oh my god, quick turn buff. Lancelot is in. What? Okay, I was thinking maybe I need to just start skipping past this. King Arthur may now proc basic attack items with his basic attacks. You already know that they put this in for aggro. Aggro has moved up, right? Aggro has ascended in the company. And aggro said the famous line, you can't build critical on King Arthur. He said something similar to that. You can't crit on King Arthur. Yes, you can. He was wrong. And now they put this in so that whenever anybody goes back to that, he just looks so stupid. He just looks so dumb because not only can you crit, you can kins, you can Xe, you can do everything now. This is spicy. I don't think it's good. Arthur has limited attack speed. So, I don't think that these procs are going to be doing things. Trying to think, wait, you can go HIREZ. Oh my god, you can go HIREZ. That's the only one that matters. You can go HIREZ crit King Arthur now. Okay, we've got some stuff to cook with in this patch. I gotta check when this patch actually comes out. Yeah, kin size, Xe, oboe, you can build those. They're gonna be bad. It might be funny, but like it will be bad. You can go hastened. Hastened would be really bad too, but that would also be kind of funny. Yeah, you got some stuff. You can go Bumpas! You can go Bumpas, Arthur! Oh my, there are so many things that I'm like remembering as we go. Oh my god, they're cooking over there. What did they do? Did something happen over in Atlanta? Or HIREZ in like a suburb of Atlanta. Like, did something happen? Oh my God. There's been a lot of movie money flowing into Georgia lately. Maybe some of it's trickling down. HIREZ getting like big raises or something. They're just going crazy with it. They're like, we're gods. I don't know. Increased rabbit move speed? Okay. Okay. Chang'e passive is faster. Who cares? Heimdallr's sword. Ooh, what? What? Heim's sword spawns 55 units in front of him. Landing time is now consistent no matter how far it spawned. That's actually a crazy buff, by the way. As somebody that loves Heim has such a fun kit. Not necessarily the sword part. That's kind of weird for me. But the guaranteed landing time is insane. There are so many spots on Heim. In general, it just nerfs him. But there are so many spots on Heim where you can throw your one for something, run off doing whatever, running away, chasing somebody down, whatever it may be. And then basically you will not be able to hit them with the sword because it takes so long to get there unless they fight you. Like, you'll never catch them at range. They have to get so close to you. So yeah, that's big. Quick cast target no longer automatically appears unless the ability key's held. Instant cast target will no longer appear. Don't care. The 55 units in front of him is weird, but basically doesn't matter too much. It's interesting. So this is now something where with the changes to Heim 1, you can intentionally aim it in the jungle. I don't know if this will spawn in walls, by the way. The fact that it no longer spawns on top of you means you maybe can't place it when you want, which would be very troll. But because it spawns in the air, it's like banished. I'm hoping it'll let you spawn it in walls. I don't know if it will. I'll have to feel that out. But you could aim into the jungle the moment you cast Heim 1, and then that's not troll that you're throwing it over farther away from the duo lane because it's going to guaranteed land. That's a cool change. And you're getting a little actual temporary... They did what? They did my change? Oh, they nerfed it. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, HIREZ? Okay, I got to actually read it through before I get too mad. Surtr stacks increased from 200 to 999. Surtr gains 1 stack when hitting... Oh, they changed this completely. Okay. Surtr gains a stack when hitting an enemy non-god. Gains 2 stacks when killing an enemy non-god. It gains 3 stacks when hitting an enemy god. Gains 5 stacks when killing an enemy god. Damage per stack decreased from 5 per stack to 1 per stack. Wait, did they change this? They didn't change this. Okay, wait, no, how does this work? Okay, I'm getting a little confused reading it. We'll have to feel it out. I'm guessing with the way they're wording this, I don't think you need to land... No, I can't tell. I can't tell if you have to land the 1 or if this is just a bonus passive thrown onto the 1. Because what this ability does, for anybody out of the loop, is when you get stacks from last hitting minions and or gods, with Surtr 1, you get bonus damage in the future on a Surtr 1. And you can stack it up to a stupid amount where it does get really strong, but it takes insane dedication. With the way this is worded, I can't tell if it's basically the same, but massively nerfed with a potential upside of now you can get it off of gods, which is what I talked about in our last Surtr video, if not 2 Surtr videos, of how cool it would be that you could get stacks from killing gods, which, by the way, with that in mind, this part a little bit lame to me. This part kind of disappointing, where just hitting an enemy god with the 1 gives you stacks, and killing an enemy god with the 1 gives you not even double those stacks. That's kind of lame. Like the whole, if I killed 200 enemy gods, I fully stacked Surtr 1. Kind of disappointing. Like even no last hitting aside, or even not using the 1, just you are never getting 200 kills in a game ever. That's not happening, right? So I can't tell. I don't know. It's written a little weird. If you are having to use the 1 for all of these, I think this doesn't feel good. No, I guess it feels good. Huh. I don't know. We'll feel this one out. I feel like they could have done this in a different way. Basically, what it's doing is it's allowing him more PvP, less stack trolling for his 1 to stack it, but you are also potentially nerfing his ability to get stacks. Because normally before this, the gain 2 stacks when killing an enemy non-god would have been 5. But you can instead get 3 when hitting an enemy god. So you can Surtr 1 an enemy actual person and still gain stacks instead of not getting any stacks. I don't know. We'll feel it out. I think it'll overall feel better for him, but it does, I think, take away the fun cheesiness to him at the same time, is I think how it's going to go. Nut can now cancel convergence while firing to put it on cooldown and refund any leftover ammo. You couldn't already do that? What? I thought you could already do that. Did it just take your ammo away? That was troll as hell if that was a thing. I'm pretty sure I already did this and I guess I was just trolling myself. I don't know. Maybe there's a bug. I don't know. Cupid's hearts now spawn closer together. Oh, come on. Nice try. Rework Cupid if you want people to play him. God's boring. Kabrakan protection buff no longer wears off while he continues to take damage. Yeah, Hercules. Oh, and they unlocked it on his 2 as well. Hercules is feeling good after this patch. This is straight up quality of life stuff, but it will also be buffs. Earthbreaker no longer feeling as clunky. No longer having the very much 2 land it, jerk 180 with your mouse the moment you're able to, and then dash. And it's also really important that his boulder can now be aimed and like unlocked. And if you guys have seen the video of it, it's a crazy amount. Like it really is. It's kind of like old Ularax where you can swing that bitch right where you want it. Gonna feel super nice. This ability is basically you are gonna land Hercule way more now is what it comes down to. And it just feels better. Little quick cast instant gas change. Don't really care. Ability timing pass. What? Are they just kind of saying we did things to these? Go figure it out. Okay, I think they are. What is this? In 11.3, we did a few small fidelity adjustments to particular abilities that felt slow, sluggish, or were otherwise mismatched from their animations. In 11.4, we're now making adjustments over a game-wide pass to improve the feel of casting and firing abilities in general. Every single ability and passive was evaluated, but adjustments have only been done for abilities that are coming out late in comparison to their animation, as would be an otherwise or unnecessary nerf to characters with early firing abilities. Many of these adjustments are also fractions of a second, so it's okay not to notice. Huh. So this is another thing, I brought this up in videos or whatever with the changes they made to like Heim and ESET and stuff like that in recent patches, where they are putting out some quality of life changes in Season 11 that it is very good for the game that they are doing this. It does hurt me a bit that they are doing it in the actual dumbest season to do it, because these changes will not cross over to Smite 2. They can intentionally do basically the same thing in Smite 2, but it is literally a different game. This code does not get translated. All this work does not really get translated. They can just kind of yoink it there if they want. So, really could have picked any other season to do this, guys, and that would have been neat, but it is literally just a good thing for the game. So, I don't know. Glass half full, I guess. Yeah, a lot of changes here. We do not need to go over all these. It does not matter that much, but just they're trying to make a lot of things feel at least a little bit better. That's good. I already feel like there's a couple things on here that I'm seeing and feel like it makes sense that they would have changed these at least a little bit. So yeah, I don't know, just good wholesome changes. But yeah, interesting patch, man. Interesting patch. I'm also going to go all the way up to the top. When does this thing come out? Does it say? Does it say? Balance live with the 11.4 update. I don't think it says. Okay, I don't know when this comes out. We'll find out. I don't know if it's coming out immediately, if it's coming out in like a week or whatever. Yeah, good patch. We're getting some cheese, which I like. We're getting a new objective, which will be interesting. And that's really most of what there is to it. It's just kind of, they added some fun things. They made some quality of life changes, and they did a big change to Conquest that'll change the way the game plays a decent amount on the solo mid-jungle side, and then also influence the duo lane with the actual buff you get from that. If you were as a solo laner were tired of duo lane, mid lane, any of those greedy guys being like, do totem now, which is something I literally type to people, because as a solo laner, I think it's funny. If you are sick of that, don't worry, it's going to get even worse. They are now going to spam ping the objective that they will not go to themselves. They will now spam ping you to go do this for them because it makes their life better with no care for how much it might inconvenience you. Jokes aside, I think it's an interesting change. I think it'll be fun. And hopefully it doesn't feel too sweaty, because it will be potentially painful if it really turns into, can I get my 2 randos in solo and mid as a jungler or whatever role you're playing? Can I get my group of 3? And can they get their group of 3? And which one of us is less deterred by the randos on our team paying no attention? Very worried that that could be an issue. We'll have to see on that. But yeah, that does it for the patch notes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Gonna be continuing to try and do daily Smite uploads. I don't know today if I'm gonna upload this and a Smite video. I don't know if I'll just do this and then tomorrow get back to the normal Smite videos, because I do already have a video ready to go, but this patch was spicy, so I thought I'd actually do one on it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.